Hello, my name's Jupiter Hadley, and today we're doing another version of Jupi Plays All the Games, this time with the Yaoi Game Jam. This was a 2-month-long game jam that was dedicated to making visual novels, in particular ones featuring male-identified characters in queer relationships. I'm playing all of the games entered this jam for a couple of minutes each because they are visual novels. Links to the individual games will be in the description so you can check them out yourself, and all my info will also be in the description. Thank you very much for watching and liking and commenting. First, we're playing Dear in Mine. I'm a slow reader. I'm so used to hearing success stories that I thought I deserved one too. A lot happened the week after I graduated. I looked for a new apartment in Bakersfield. I neatly packed my things in boxes. I asked my manager to finalize my transfer to the Bakersfield store. I figured I could keep working as a barista until a better offer popped up. I figured Bakersfield would be an upgrade, and I would quickly move to LA and get even more opportunities. Except I never did. 2 years have passed and I've reached my limit. This is my last month here. Day 1 afternoon. Shane is late. I take a peek at my phone. Still half an hour to go. I'm surprised there are still people browsing the gallery. Must be because of the buffet. Nobody's going to turn down unlimited free food and drink. I catch a figure in yellow out of the corner of my eye. Dominique, the owner of the gallery, finishes chatting with a couple and approaches me with a smile. Next time, I'll make sure to arrange less catering. Mind bringing home some drinks? I still have a lot of unopened bottles. Sure, no problem. Sold many prints? A lot of bookmarks and a couple of books. After the networking branch ended and all the important names had left, I was moved to a small gift shop in the corner to sell the knickknacks. Have any of yours sold yet? Only one. And someone I'd consider a regular customer of mine, so no surprise there. That's a pity. Don't let it bother you. I shrug. I can't exactly blame people for not wanting to use bondage bookmarks for their cookbooks, although I'd like to see that. Dominique grins sheepishly before collecting an empty plastic cup from my stand. I better make sure there aren't any of these on the artwork. It has happened before. People leaving their garbage everywhere. She marches towards the lithography table and collects another plastic cup. There aren't many people looking around, and most hanging around the drinks. At least the AC is working. I even had to put on my blazer because I was shivering, and it makes me look twice as professional. Kim! I know that voice. I look around and Shane is at the entrance, waving at me. She deserves a glare. Sorry, I didn't think I'd be this late. We rushed here as soon as the rehearsal ended. We? I brought a friend. She moves to the side, revealing a cute guy browsing the postcards. Someone likes to go heavy with the eyeliner, I see. I'm glad he's wearing a tank top because those arms are a sight for sore eyes. Aye, come say hi. The boy puts down the postcard quickly before giving me his hand. Why the formality? Because of my jacket? I'm probably gonna pronounce these names wrong. Ayumu? He has a lovely smile. Where has Shane been hiding him all this time? Kim? His handshake is surprisingly firm. I like that. I'm in the same program as Shane, so he's a fashion student. You two work in the same mall. It makes sense for you to get to know each other. I wonder what she's told him about me. She's been trying to convince me not to move for a while, but trying to tie me down with a guy is a new one. I'm interning at the shoemaker down the street. Yep, and he knows where to get the best deals for lunch around here, so feel free to ask. Ayum's smile grows a bit uncomfortable. Shane is having fun playing Cupid. Shane's saying we should go out for lunch. We're going for drinks later. Do you want to join us? I need a break from this sewing machine. Well, I'm on cleaning duty. Aw, do you have to stay in this corner till closing time? If you want a tour of this place, Dominique will be happy to show you around. Sucks that you're stuck here. Getting paid to do nothing is a nice change of pace. Did you sell any of your photos? The one of your legs. Out of all of your photos? Go look at the exhibit. Thunder thighs, before I get offended. Like I haven't seen them before. She waves at me and links arms with Ayumu. See you later, Kimmy. I'm gonna show him how much of a pervert you are. I like the graphics. It seems like a very interesting story. Trying to get us to stay. I wonder if we're gonna fall helplessly in love and then be stuck Here. I wonder if he plans on living the rest of his life here. I don't know. Seems quite interesting. I very much like the look of this girl character. I'd totally be her in a game. Next. We're playing Nocturnal Affair. This is the demo. There was a bunch of warnings about, like, suicide and rape and stuff, so be warned, this might be a triggering game. I don't know, it kind of went fast. Good evening, did you wait long? I hear a voice call out to me as I drink my second glass of beer. Be honest. But I found a way to accompany my time. I can see that. To my utter surprise, the person standing in front of me was not who I was expecting. Rather, my secret date was a handsome young man around my age. You're surely not a girl. The young man seemed distressed by what I said, but keeps his cool. He smiles at me for a moment, and I feel my heart skip a beat. My name's Riley. Pleased to meet you, Sydney. Fuck off. Pardon me? Oops, that just slipped out. You know, I'm not really interested, but I guess it would be rude to leave now. I'll have a chat with him. After all, there's a first time for everything. Have a seat. Oh, thank you. It's been 3 days since I confronted my stalker. The person in question used to be an old classmate of mine back in high school. I couldn't even remember who she was until I asked her myself up front. Natalie was her name. Sadly, even that didn't ring a bell. She didn't look like the kind of girl who'd stalk someone, at least not on the outside. I knew beforehand that not everyone is what they appear to be. I myself wasn't always a good person, but now it's in the past, and we have to forgive ourselves for old mistakes and move on. I'm working to turn my wrongs right, at least the ones I can. Please stop this. Whatever wrong I did to you, I'm really sorry. I'm not the same person who I was before anymore, I swear. I've become a better person. I was just a kid. We were joking. I've never seen someone so angry in my life. I swear if she could, she would have killed me right there. I meant it. Natalie, on the other hand, looked skeptical. She stared at me in silence. Figures. Her reaction was the same, just like everyone else's. I wouldn't be surprised if she laughed it off. I want to, but I don't think I can. I lost something far more precious after all. Something I can never get back. She was in tears as she walked away, a knot formed in my heart, yet the saddest part was I don't remember what wrong I'd done to her. Another guilt added to my already conscious mind. I hadn't seen her for days after that. On the other side, I was relieved she stopped following me around. Crazy girl, what could she be talking about? I don't know her. If it was something important, I would remember. Sid, great news. I arranged you a blind date with this really cute girl named Riley. She's from our sister school and in the psychology department. Apparently she's had a crush on you for a while, but with all the stalker thing going on, she found it hard to ask you out herself. Eh? Come on, buddy, isn't this your chance? The stalker of yours disappeared days ago. Didn't you say you wanted a girlfriend? Well. Okay, why not? It's always fun to have a night out. That's the spirit. It's this Saturday at 7 p.m. Here's the place and her number. Alright. And that's her. But she's clearly a guy. Why am I here again? 2 beers, please. It's on me. Wait, no, it's fine. I insist. My date, Riley, who turns out to be a charming, extravagant man, takes a seat right next to me. Are you freaked out? I bet you were expecting some cute girl instead. You bet I was. Or maybe you're into hot ones instead. I like mysterious. What about you? Oh, I prefer you. I wanted to ask him. I wanted to deflect the question. What? I must have heard wrong. I like certain people with a particular dark past. What does he know about my past? Who is he? I shuddered. Something about him is bugging me. The way he looks at me makes me feel as if he could expose all my secrets with a simple glance. I shake my head. This isn't the time to be paranoid. Moreover, why am I letting him lead me on? By the way, are you a friend of Aaron's? Was he the one who came up with this childish prank? I don't understand what you mean. Who's Aaron? Is he the one who arranged this date? Please stop playing around. Go on, tell me where all the other guys are hiding. That guy, if I get my hands on him, I'll... What are you smiling for, you bastard? This is probably the beer acting up. Who would have thought you'd make so many friends after what happened? I'm really baffled. Baffled? What's he going on about now? Nonchalantly, he takes hold of my left hand and plants what could be considered as a kiss. Indeed. I'm truly amused. Let's withdraw my hand. Riley simply smiles, acting as if my surprise expression was nothing. What the heck was that for? That's a weird way to interact with someone for the first time. Randomly bring stuff up about his past and then kiss him on the hand, but still. Rumors about my past began spreading a few months after I finally got used to college life. No one knew who started it, nor when it exactly began. They were all facts I couldn't bring myself to deny or accept. I felt I deserved all of it due to all the wrong things I did in the past. In particular, the accident 4 years ago that drove me to change. It was around spring, shortly before we finished our school year, that the principal announced his death. That moment I felt guilty. Guilt was building up inside me. It was then that I realized how messed up it was. At the moment, I didn't know who the dead student was, but after a while, word came around, some people started blaming me. I can't even remember the kid's face or his name. There were so many. I couldn't remember him, but I remember the way people looked at me after that. I remembered fear and hatred. Even my parents, they said nothing, but I knew. I knew they knew what other people said about me. It was terrible. In a short period of time, I always felt like I was suffocating. It was like drowning from my own sense of guilt. I couldn't breathe. I struggled to finish school, even get a job. I just had to change. I needed to get rid of those feelings which were dragging me down. You killed a kid. This guy killed a kid. And he's like just out in society. How did he kill a kid? I had to redeem myself from all the mistakes I've made. I believed I could be a better version of myself, so I did. I became a better person. I left town and now I'm finally in college. But when those rumors happened, I realized my past will always follow me. No matter where I go, it will always catch up with me. So tell me, Riley, is that even your real name? Who is this girl on the phone I talked to yesterday? Oh, a fellow classmate of mine. And yes, my name is Riley Elliott. An accomplice of yours, then? Not entirely. I disheveled my hair, which I earnestly styled for this date. Fuck, it even took me hours. What a complete waste of time. What a shame. Were you going to charm the girl you were supposed to date with that hairstyle? I glared at him. So I guess this is some sort of weird payback for my mysterious past that I'm not quite sure about. Sounds quite interesting. I'd like to know what he did, why he did it, and why this guy is so interested in it. Maybe I killed his brother or something in a past time. That's horrible. Next. We're playing Drawn Onward. I have to hide. The air feels so thick here. I can almost see the currents swimming through the trees. How many times have I looked below and wondered how sweet the flowers would taste? Now that I'm here, the flowers look so plain and unappealing. I wonder if they would still taste just as sweet. But right now I have to hide. Hives should be abuzz with life, but there doesn't seem to be any life here. Is this what an abandoned hive sounds like? The silence is disconcerting. I walk with careful steps as little puffs of dust swirl by my feet, muting my footsteps. What do the humans call their hives again? House. I think this house is empty. Wow, they look beautiful. I blink at the sunlight filtering through the windows as I enter the last room. Like the others, this room is sparsely furnished. Any remaining furniture has been covered by linens yellowed with age. On the opposite corner rests an artist's easel. It's framed on each side by a cloudy mirror with an expansive painting. I drift towards the mirror, too curious to resist. My body feels heavier and sturdier than I remember. Do I want to see what I've now become? I hover in front of the mirror, but my curiosity gets the best of me and I lean forward for a closer look. How human I seem now. You do not seem human. You've got crystals in your head. Although my wings are no more, my halo still circles my head. Yeah, there's that as well. Still not quite human. It's for the best that I'm alone here. Everything about me is so much more defined now. I run a finger along my jawline. I have a jawline. My chest is flat as my abs, and between my legs, a stinger. I peer down. It's not quite a stinger, but my heartbeat quenches in my chest. Human females don't have stingers. That must mean a smile spreads across my face, and I'm filled with renewed vigor. I'm a human, and I'm male. Well, mostly human, but close enough. I can choose what I want to do, who I want to be. I can be either worker or drone. Taking another look around the room, my eyes drawn to the painting. What does this painting look like? I gently trace a finger across the painted fire. Such talent. Thank you. I jump at the voice and glance up to see someone hovering above me. Who are you? The artist. And you are? My cheeks flush. I'm acutely aware of the fact that I'm trespassing. Very sorry for the intrusion. I didn't realize anyone lived here. He waves his hand dismissively. Never mind that. It gets pretty lonely here anyway. My neck starts to cramp. Do you think maybe you could come down? Oh. He floats down and rights himself until he's eye level with me. Sorry, you forget about these things when you're by yourself all the time. Are you here alone? Unfortunately, no. He scowls and crosses his arms. You're lucky you met me first instead of him. Who? He shakes his head. It doesn't matter. More importantly, he circles me, looking intrigued. You never told me who you are. His gaze lingers on my halo. Or what you are. I think I'm still an angel. You aren't sure? It's complicated. The ghost pauses and gives me a once-over. You don't much look like one. Well, I should, since I am one. He looks skeptical. I frown. Have you seen a lot of angels, then? Not in person, but I've painted many of them. Then I think the angel in the room would be a better judge on what an angel actually looks like. Fine. Where are your wings, then? I look away. I lost them. How'd you do that? By falling. Wouldn't that make you a demon? Of course not. We're nothing like demons. He leaps over to me and places a finger to my lips. Shh, not so loud. You'll disturb him. Who? He doesn't answer, but his gaze flicks toward the easel. If you don't want to disturb him, whoever he is, why don't you just go into another room? Can't. Why not? I'm stuck here. You mean you've been in this room the whole time? He nods. If that's the case, how come I couldn't sense him before? It's taking me this long to chip away at the seal so I can manifest before you, but I can't venture any further. You're tethered to something in here? He nods again. I take a closer look at the ghost. His skin is translucent, and he doesn't seem to fade slightly in this world, but otherwise I didn't notice any difference. Why can't I see the tether? Human eyes are so weak. How do they see anything? I know, and some of us need glasses. They're, even weaker than human eyes. Squinting, I try again, trying to draw upon my angel's sight. If I'm still an angel, as I believe I am, I can still channel it. I just need to learn how. The ghost runs a hand through his thick, light hair. He watches me with curiosity, but does not interrupt. I let my human eyes rest on the ghost's chest. His strong pecs peek through his shirt, but I try not to focus on them. Then I notice a faint shimmer over his biceps, which emphasizes his muscles. He catches my gaze and raises an eyebrow. My face feels hot as I dart my gaze away. Stop looking at his muscles. Focus on the shimmer. It surrounds his whole body, like a thin coating of plastic. I close my eyes and imagine the plastic, trying to amplify it. Sunlight creeps through the darkness behind my lids. Focusing on the light, I draw it until I can see through it, and my sight opens. The room is the same, but so much brighter. Every grain on the floorboard rises through the melting wax and scuffled varnish. Each speck of dust floats clearly in the still air, hovering in place, drifting as slowly as a cloud in the sky. The ghost is shrouded in silvery film, which firmly pulls him back towards the painting. I couldn't see it before, but beads of sweat drip from his forehead as he strains against the film. No wonder his muscles seem so defined. I shake my head, suddenly feeling woozy, and sway on my feet. The ghost is beside me in an instant. Are you okay? Yes. This is really cool. I love the look of an angel. I really, really like that idea of an angel looking like that, like a human angel. Because angels are always these white creatures that have feathers and lace, I would guess. But he looks like a badass. He looks like a really cool, stylish angel. I very much like it. This is quite interesting because we don't have regular humans here. We have ghosts and angels and stuff. This should be interesting. Next. We're playing Clockwork Apple. That's a mansion. The binding energy is the amount of energy needed to divide the bond between two atoms. Trying to be the most discreet I can, I retrieve a sheet of paper. Ethan glances at me to see what I'm doing, but then goes on with the lecture. And to reform the bond is released the same amount of energy. I tear off the strip with extreme precision and make a paper ball. Then I roll the remaining sheet. The other two are busy looking at the notes before them, and don't pay attention to me. I don't even try to hide my smug sneer when I bring the blowpipe to my lips and take aim. When Ethan noticed me, it's already too late. The paper ball goes straight into his collar. Wahoo! Direct hit! Minna hides a laugh with her hand. Meanwhile, Ethan recovers the ball from his shirt and throws it at me, completely missing me. What an awful aim. And to prove my skills, I hit him in the face. Why don't you leave us alone? Because I'm bored. Aren't you, Minna? No, it was interesting. Minna's words make Ethan way too much proud. He's so smug. Haven't you got something to do since you're so bored? Why should I, when messing up with you is so much fun? Tisk. He turns towards the girl and goes back to his explanation, but it takes more than this to stop me. I shove his leg with my foot a couple of times and he keeps ignoring me. I go on, watching his composure crumble bit by bit. He clenches his eyes at every kick to not snap. I'm guessing we're related, like he's my brother. Now it's a challenge, and I will not lose. Enough! Leave! 1. Sir, miss, I think it's time for me to withdraw to my room. With the most smug grin and a deep bow, I walk away, followed by Ethan's glare. It's so fun. I don't go to the demandants, Ethan. I don't go to the dependents. Ethan and I divide. Instead, I choose to retrieve a book and sit somewhere in the garden to read. The end summer weather is very nice. Alright. It's lunchtime. I open my eyes and the light is blinding. I ended up falling asleep. Oh, already? Yep, we decided to eat in the garden. It seems a wonderful idea. Mom, Dad, and Ethan are waiting for us. Let's go. Eager, she urges me, tugging at my arm until we get in front of the entrance of the house. The table is set, and, as Mina said, the others are already seated. Sir, ma'am. I greet them with a light bow and sit at my place. Adriel, did you take a good nap? Yes, thank you. How did the morning go, dear? It was good. I studied with Ethan. He talked about the bonds between atoms. While Minna tells with enthusiasm what she learned this morning, the staff brings the dishes. Besides Ethan and me, there are other 4 or 5 persons employed that take care of the house. Ah, Ethan, the calculation machine is having some problems. Can you take a look at it after lunch, please? Sure, sir. So, this afternoon, there's only 2 of us, Minna. We could spend it training with magic. She doesn't fool me with her puppy eyes. After we finish everything, young lady. I'm glad at least one of you can say no to her. Behind the menacing look, this one in a softie. My face is not menacing. The launch goes on. Once we finish, Ethan, sir, and ma'am go back in the house while Minna and I set up for lesson. Minna sprawled on the table, blatantly unenthusiastic. Do we have to? Yes. Sigh. Come on, once we finish, we'll do what you want. And when will we finish? Never, if you keep complaining. Sit straight and let's start. She does as I say and takes out some sheets and a pen to take notes. Good girl. When I pull her cheek, she slaps my hand away and glares at me. She's really cute. I hope you never have kids, for they're good. What a loud mouth, this young lady. I learned from the best. Well, I did not expect this adulation. I'm so touched. I raised you so well. I fake a tear before exchanging a smile with her. But adulation will take you nowhere. At work now. Okay. Let's resume from last time. This looks like Latin. Fame coca valpes alta in Vien. Yeah. In this sentence, when I look up from the book, I notice she already lost track and is thinking about other things. To wake her up, I poke her nose. Already on another planet? What's up? I've got an offer. Her mischievous expression intrigues me. What kind of offer? One you'll like. With a nod, I encourage her to go on. My assistant in a prank in return for a whole afternoon today of training. To Ethan, obviously. This kid really knows how to get what she wants. What makes you think I need your help? I'd be a useful accomplice. He trusts me. She knows her hand, and it's hard to tell her no when she plays so well. What do you have in mind? Deal? She extends her hand to make an offer. Let's accept it. Deal. Her expression brightens and I smile mischievously. So, little pest, what is your plan? Hey guys, how is Latin going? Very well. Come on, Minna. Do, infructuous? I'm sweating. This woman can be terrifying sometimes. Fracti. No, it's the 4th inflection. And his expression gets even more confused. I have no idea how to say any of these. Seems very interesting. We live a very rich lifestyle. By magic, they mean Latin, and we seem to enjoy picking on our brother Ethan with the staff. I don't know. I don't know where it's really going with this, to be honest. But I guess you'll have to play and find out. Next. We're playing Lethe. Probably how you say it. Something wasn't right. Your chest felt tight. You blinked slowly, adjusting to the light that surrounded you. Sure enough, something wasn't right. You could tell you were in a hospital, in a gown, a patient. But why? Hello? Can you hear me? The sound was clearly a voice, and you looked towards it with certainty. A doctor, someone to give you answers. Can you tell me your name? My name is Jupiter. My name is Jupiter. Your voice was raspy, and you cleared it quickly, expecting more questions. Eyes focused on the doctor, you retrieved a bit of information of your own. Dr. Quinn. How are you feeling right now? Tired? You looked at your arm, hooked to an IV. The faint scratches of pen on paper soothed your aching head. Do you know where you are? Following the IV with your eyes, you registered the doctor's voice, but felt almost annoyed by the question. You wondered if the heart monitor showed it. I'm guessing a hospital? The doctor paused their writing to look more intently at you, and you failed to return the stare. Do you know why you are here? No. Finally, something to get the conversation somewhere. I don't really remember much past going to sleep last night, so... You lifted your arm and then felt a sharp muscular pain. Instantly drawn to look at it, you were rendered mute by the flowering bruises. Was I... No part of the present made sense to you, and you wrecked your brain for answers. The startling pace of the machine beside you broke your concentration, and you watched the doctor disable the alarm. What do you remember before you went to sleep? What was there to remember? My parents just talked to me about their vacation, and I went to bed. If you were in hospital, where are they right now? The silence drew thin, before the doctor let her arms fall over her sides. What day is today? Sunday. Where are my parents? You're becoming impatient with the doctor's feigned ignorance to your panic. Do you remember the date? The 3rd of July? Your hands gripped the sheets tightly, unsure of whether something had befallen your parents or not. The doctor had only written something down, and seemed to be more interested in the paper than your anxieties. My parents? Where are my parents? The doctor looked up to you, and then frowned lightly. I have a few things I have to tell you, Jupiter. She relaxed her grip on the clipboard, and let her arms relax slightly. Your parents are currently on vacation. That's not possible. They were leaving in a few weeks. Your mind raced with questions you couldn't voice in time, and a sharp pain ran through your head. That, and you're a bit behind. The date today is the 31st of July. You sat open-mouthed, unsure of what information to process. It appears to me that you have retrograde amnesia, and my parents still went on holiday, leaving me confused and alone in a hospital. The first instinct you had was to laugh, then to take a shaky breath. You just had to ask, is this a joke? But the doctor gave you a steady stare in return. I'm afraid not, Jupiter. What is that? Retrograde amnesia is amnesia affecting your recollection. Continuing to live shouldn't be any hassle, but you might find it difficult to remember anything between your last memories and today. The words were muddled together, even as you tried your best to pay attention. From the 3rd. Yes. But how? There are many ways one can be amnesic. But in your case, it appears to be head trauma. A moment of silent passed before the weight of the words settled down on you. Something bad had happened to you. You didn't just wake up here. So these bruises, did I get hit by a car? You were unsure of what answer you expected, and you adjusted your grip on the sheets. From what I've been told, you fell from a rooftop at a party. Taking in consideration the distance you were said to have fallen, the injuries you have sustained are nearly a bare minimum. I would consider you lucky. Lucky? Your head spun around that word. The pain you felt in your body, in each muscle, and in your head, that was lucky? I don't understand. Not even sure what you were referencing. You felt your attention lapsing. I'm afraid there isn't much we can do to push forward the progress of the healing process. While we can sign you out today, there will be a few more appointments scheduled to check the progress of recovery. But I'll recover, right? What you thought would be an instant answer came delayed. It is highly likely you should regain all of your memories, but there is always a chance that the memories themselves have been damaged. Even those who cannot remember go on to lead happy, healthy lives. You felt sick. I need to run this past administration before we can give you a final once-over for release. Until then, we'll allow visitors. Are there visitors for me? With your parents gone on vacation, you racked your brain for an answer but came up blank. We'll have to let them in pairs so we don't crowd the room. The doctor began to walk away, and you only sat back, unable to process the breadth of what you'd been told. It was the police. When the doors opened again, you looked up to see your visitors, and your breath caught. But police? Correct, I'm Caleb, and this is Joe. Good morning, Jupiter. You managed to nod and just accept your stupor. The doctor just informed us of your state. We shouldn't take too long. We only have a few questions. Okay, I'll do what I can. What were you supposed to say? What were they here for? You didn't even have answers for your own questions. Friday night, do you have any recollection of it? No. The man took a breath, and you watched the two of them share a look before nodding. Are you aware of what happened? No. The doctor said I fell at some party, but I have no idea what was going on or why. Both officers shot you a concerned look. You weren't the only one who fell. The only one. There was someone else on the roof. What do you mean? There was an accident that we're looking into regarding the death of another student. Death? The idea itself took you off guard. We understand how alarming this must be if you can't remember. The pause after our words was filled with your anxieties and your quiet understanding. We'll be keeping in touch with the doctor and some of the other involved students, so don't push yourself too hard. Thank you for your time. No problem, I guess. That wasn't mysterious. So we fell from the roof of some party, so did some other people, and they died, and we're the ones that live. And even more scary is not being able to remember anything, not being able to recall for quite some time in your past. That is relatively soon. And your parents didn't feel the need to stick around. I wouldn't really want to go home. I wouldn't really know what to do. Just be home by myself, really. If my parents were on vacation, that's all I had. No one else is even here to visit me, other than police. Seems like it would be an interesting game trying to pull back my past and figure out what happened at this party. Next. We're playing Four Eyes. Ah, Captain Sharzi. We were just talking about you. Hi. Hello, Admiral. Thanks again for agreeing to this mission. We're in your debt. This is our chance to finally do some real damage on the Taurians. Oh, it's no problem. No problem, Admiral Lansing. Sir. Oh my god, Jet. Relax, Sharzi. There's no need to be so formal with me. Phew, okay. I understand you've never been contracted by the Navy before, but try not to think of it as different from any of your other deliveries. To the outside world, you're just an ordinary cargo ship. Okay, but if this mission is so ordinary, then why'd you give us weapons? Won't lie, that's a little freaky. Are you kidding, Irene? That's the coolest part. They even gave our ship a laser beam. Yeah, to intercept small projectiles. Still a laser beam. The odds that you'll have a confrontation with the Taurids is slim, but we just want you to be prepared. If anything, the weapon should help you feel safer. Yeah, don't worry, Irene. I see an alien, I'll shoot him between all four of his eyes, like kabam. My hero. It seems like you've got the right spirit, Captain. Now, don't let us down. We really need these weapons. You can count on us, sir. Anything to help the war effort. Well then, I'll be taking my leave now. Good luck. We're in space. We should start prepping for takeoff. Alright. You heard her, folks. Let's get this nightingale ready to spread her wings and fly. Oh, thank God the Admiral wasn't around to hear that one. Four Eyes. Use the arrow keys to move Jet around, Z to interact, X to close and open menu, Shift to run or skip through text. Alright. Lots of people in here we could talk to. Why do I always get stuck with all the paperwork? Oh, Captain, I'm hard at work. Just don't look at my screen or you'll interrupt my flow. Green hair is all the rage now. I heard it from my friend on the other system. All systems are optimal, Captain. Man, it sounds so cool when you guys say that. Not when I say it. Hey, Jet. No offense, but I haven't had enough coffee to be able to deal with you yet. Could you come back in like 10 minutes? Sorry, but I need to chat with you about a few things. Ugh, fine. Our mission. Want to give me a quick rundown of the mission again? Seriously? You already forgot? You got a mind like a sieve. We've been contacted by the Navy to help deliver some crucial supplies to the Archie system, mostly crates of bullets and rations, but there are a few missiles too. They want to launch a surprise strike on the Taurian base there. Since we're an ordinary cargo ship, we're hoping we can move around without rousing as much suspicion. Although if that's why they wanted, I don't see why they'd go and give our ship a laser. Seems counterproductive. Yeah, but what if the aliens attack us? We gotta have something to blast them with. I guess this mission is just freaking me out a little. Like, we have missiles on board. What if they explode or whatever and we all die? Then we never get paid. You'd be dead. That's a bit more important. Among other concerns, yes. The war. Geez, it's been nearly a year since this whole war with the Tellurians started, hasn't it? Yeah, I wish they'd just stop these aliens for good already. Me too. Why'd they even start fighting us in the first place? Some pointless land dispute that blew up, literally. We barely even said hello before they started firing at us. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was kind of cool when they said they found aliens. I never thought they'd be so violent. Oh well, hopefully our shipment will help teach them a lesson. I don't have anything else to say. You can go back to your solitary coffee now. Okay, thanks. Got this guy. This mission is over. I'm going to Mars. I heard the resorts are incredible. Sigh. Living in space is cool, but I miss Vienna sometimes. You can just freely travel to Mars. I've been getting to know Irene lately, not because she goes out of her way to talk to me, but because she's always right there by the coffee pot anyway. Fair enough. Oh, that doesn't sound very good. What? What was that? Hang on, I'm checking it out. She must be like my co-pilot. Looks like something unusual got picked up by security sensors in the cargo hold. You think it could be an alien? Can I fight it? It's probably just a squirrel that snuck on board when we refueled. I mean, you can still fight it if you want, though. Anyway, we do kind of have to check it out according to protocol, so would you mind getting on that? Thanks. Okay, but I'm gonna grab my gun from my room first. It's just in the lockbox inside my bedside table. Just use mine, it's always lying in the dresser drawer. But what if aliens attack you? Then how will you defend yourself? I told you it's probably just, oh, fine. Go grab your gun, then check out what triggered the alarm. I'm on it. I bet you it's an alien. I bet you the alien's a boy. And I bet you deciding from these pictures, we fall in love with an alien. And guess what the alien has? 4 eyes. I'm really excited to fall in love with an alien. Where's my room? Pretty sure entering Irene's room without her permission. Well, she said you could, but we'll go in our room anyway. That looks like a lockbox. Gotta have my coffee. Nope, nope. Lockbox is just in the drawer right here. The combination is... So maybe I don't remember it off the top of my head, but I do remember hiding it somewhere. Just to follow the clues I wrote for myself. First one's right there. The 4 digits of the passcode are within this room. Follow the clues to find them. 1, amusing. Okay, time to figure out what this means. Computer. Okay, this is probably the least amusing object in my entire room. Clues gotta be somewhere. The computer, not the printer. Computer's pretty amusing, but nah, no clues in here, unless I hid it in some file somewhere. Aw, I don't have time to look through everything. I'll just hope it's not there. Hey, my magazines are pretty amusing. Let me flip through the pages for a sec. Oh, there's a little slip of paper in issue 4. It says, confusing. Well, that's progress. Just gotta find the next clue. This is a very interesting game. I'm kind of excited about being in space and having aliens. The graphics all look super nice. Next. We're playing Out of Sync. We sucked in the crisp morning air and belted out the chorus together. I stopped hearing the crackle of leaves under our feet, the soft rumble of cars on a distant road. My voice vibrated in my skull, filling my ears around the deeper tone of Shao's harmony. I'm getting sick of this song, I thought as I sucked in a breath for the next note. We'd already sung it 100 times on these long walks to school, but it's okay. It's easy to sing and Shao likes it, and my voice cracked on the high note like it always did. I clapped my mouth shut as the squawk faded in the air, my cheeks burning, my eyes stinging. I wouldn't look at Shao. I couldn't. What if he laughed? Okay, sure, he never did. But what if he was sick of me ruining that part every time? What if he finally got annoyed? His voice didn't crack. It had already finished changing. He'd slid effortlessly into a deeper tone, like the man I wanted to become. Tassie, it's not that big a deal. Yes, it is. It's humiliating. Your voice never cracked when it changed, so why does mine have to? I looked up just enough to see Shao frown and lightly touch his own throat. He probably didn't realize he did that. Every time he touches his throat, it reminded me that he never had to deal with this. I hate that I'm so jealous of you. I dug my shoes into the dirt, hoping maybe I'd find a sinkhole and fall in. As if puberty wasn't bad enough, between the odors and the weird body hair and all the other things my body just kind of did. It'll stop cracking eventually. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but it will. Are you going to stop singing until then? You'll suck if you don't keep it up. I wasn't sure that practice did me much good anyway. I only really sang because Xiao liked hearing me, and it was kind of fun, maybe. At least it was when my voice wasn't doing stupid things. We stopped again at the top of one of many hills in our town. I looked up at it again. This time, meeting his eyes, Xiao stared down at me from so much higher, reminding me of another one of the puberty blessings he got. I don't care that your voice cracks. Singing with you is fun, whether or not it's perfect. You could sing with other people, better people. There's that guy in choir that's always trying to recruit you for his band. I don't care about singing with him. I want to sing with you. He took my hand then, squeezing it gently. He was always so sincere, friendly and loving. His hand was soft and warm and dwarfed my own. I almost felt safe with his huge hand holding mine. Come on, Tassie. You can hit all the high notes that I can't. You're better at this than you think you are. The graphics in this look lovely. There's also like a mature version of the game that you can play that's on this game's page. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. I hate these pants. They're way too tight on my calves. I wish someone cared about my calves. I wish someone cared if I can ever get out of these pants again. There's a limit to how much dieting you can do before you start looking starved. Maybe I'll spill something on them and get out of this early. There's a knock at the door. Yeah? Are you okay in there? Losing the fight with your pants again? Smart ass. I hate that he knows exactly what the problem is. I won, thank you. Is this the same kid, like all grown up now? I hate to admit it, but these pants do something nice to my butt. Maybe they're not the worst. I stepped out of the changing room to Kiowa chuckling. He's already dressed and doesn't seem half as uncomfortable as I am. His pants have breathing room. Not fair. His eyes wander up and down my legs, leveling at my crotch. He could learn how to be more subtle about leering. Well, they could always be tighter. A lot tighter. He wouldn't know, subtlety, if it hit him in the face with it. Whatever, though. I'll deal with him. I'll deal with the pants, and then I'll find a way to piss off management, and that's always cathartic. I have plenty of time to plan my revenge. We're modeling today, and while it takes more energy than anyone realizes, there's also a decent amount of sitting and waiting, like now. We're supposed to be collaborating with one of the sister groups of the company, or something. It's hard to keep up with it all. The other groups are always changing, and some of them are bought and sold. There are only so many hours in a day, and there's not enough of them for me to keep up with the churn of the industry, especially with how long it can take me to read anything, whether it's a few tweets or a tabloid. Have you run into any of the people working with yet? No, seems to be a pretty small-time group of mostly newbies, though. Huh. I check my phone, hoping that none of these guys end up being late. I don't want to be here longer than I have to, and luckily we're near the crappy little apartment that I rent. It's the closest thing I have to a home these days, even if it's kind of a dump. I still like it better than a string of endless hotel rooms in between work. It's the best option I've got when I never have time to go back to my tiny little hometown. You still okay with me not staying at the hotel tonight? Why wouldn't I be? Well, what if you get lonely? Sounds like you're the one who doesn't want to sleep alone. I'll take a lonely night over stiff sheets and shitty coffee, and hotel maids that probably go rooting through my stuff when I'm asleep. Oh, Tassie, whatever will I do without you in my cold, empty bed? They probably go through your stuff when you're not there, not when you're sleeping. You'd wake up. He makes me laugh. He's a good actor. His over-the-top drama is always fun to be around in a weird way. We take a seat on the sofa near the doors, and Kiowa immediately pulls his phone out and starts tapping away. He's probably trying to find out more about the group we're working with. He's kind of a control freak about information, honestly. He gets antsy when he doesn't know every single detail about something. His obsession has saved my ass more than once, though. I check my phone, and the other group is officially late. What if they don't show up at all? Am I going to die wearing these stupid skin-tight pants? Annoyance bubbles up inside me. I flip through old photos on my phone since I have nothing better to do, as the other group stubbornly refuses to show up. After what feels like 10 hours, but was probably 10 minutes, they finally arrive. Koya was right, they're mostly noobs. Mostly. We're gonna find our childhood friend? There he is. I barely recognize him. My heart skips a beat when our eyes meet, and he seems to recognize me back. He looks so empty, scripted. He doesn't have his energy. I know we fell out of touch, but for him to have changed so much in his appearance and his body language, Tai, Kiowa, get over here. We're getting started. I flick my eyes over to my manager and then quickly back to him, but he's already turned away from me, his attention back to the members of his own group. Tassie? Sorry, come on, I want to get out of these pants sometime this century. I say the last line as casually as I can, but my voice sounds strange in my ears. Kiowa raises an eyebrow, but I brush past him before he can ask. I slump on the couch, my manager's voice still ringing in my ears. I'm usually pretty good at modeling, stand there, pose, look pretty, and don't move. It's painless, really, and yet I managed to screw it up a dozen times before my manager finally told me to sit down and stop wasting time. I'm already on thin ice for dyeing my hair pink without permission, among other things. I'm gonna get fired, aren't I? Despite that hanging over my head, I can't focus. Between flashes of the camera, my gaze wanders, hoping to catch another glimpse of you-know-who. No luck. I'm still not entirely sure whether I'm hallucinating or not. We've been in touch here and there, but it has been at least a year since I saw him last, and even longer since we talked about anything more than what our parents were sending in care packages. Shao, you're next. Wow, so these guys have changed. They were like friends, and then they kind of lost touch, as people do when they move out of their hometowns, but now we're both modeling. Well, hopefully he'll stay in the area, and we can become friends again. Next. We're playing Sentimental Trickster. This game continued to go on Kickstarter and was funded through Kickstarter, and I guess they're working on a newer version, so I think this is like the demo jam version. Thank you for playing Sentimental Trickster. In this demo, your game will be saved automatically. If you load a game later, press L. Okay. Yes, this is the demo. Unknown number. Huh? Like hell, I'll buy anything. Wait, did 10 calls a day from people who want to sell you something count as harassment? Think about the silver lining. At least they always remember about you, even if no one else does. Maybe if I don't say anything, they'll hang up, or better not. I'm morbidly curious to hear what they want this time. It's me. Crap. I'm sorry, but the number you're trying to call is currently unavailable. Please try again later. Do you really think I'm not able to recognize your voice, Haru? Wah, busted. Wait, did you lose your phone again? Whose number is this? I did not lose it. I just don't know where it is. And it's Kachiro's phone. Honestly, you should have his number by now. You never know what might happen, and I know, I'll save it this time, I promise. Good. So, did you get there all right? Trying to find the boarding house now. This place is amazing. I'm the guy who got lost grocery shopping, remember? I'm not exactly the master of finding things. I wonder who I inherited from. This must be like my dad or something. I hear a heavy sigh on the other end of the line. Not good. Mom, is everything all right? Okay, so it's my mom. Well, it is. Is it? Aren't you going to ask? Yeah, I guess. So, how are things? Ryu keeps asking about you. He didn't need anything today. He'll get over it. You wouldn't believe how fast children forget things. Haru. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. But he'll be fine, don't worry. It's not like I left without saying goodbye. Can you call him when you have time? Today? Yeah, I guess. But if he's angry, I doubt he'll want to talk to me. I never said he's angry. He's just confused. Are you confused as well? I don't know. I just wish there was something I could do to... No, you're kidding. You always have everything together. You know the answer to every question. It's like magic. Do you remember? You taught me that all problems can be solved. That made me feel pretty invincible when I was younger. Silence. You should have expected that. So, anyway, I better get going. I'll end up homeless if I don't find the damn place. She sighs again, but this time it's very quiet. She probably wanted to say something, but she gave up. I guess I'm off the hook for now. Remember that I love you. I love you too, Mom. Take care. Alright, so I've just left home. Guessing it's my brother who's confused? Or is it my dad? When I talk to Mom, I can always count on myself to mess things up. It's somehow reassuring. I guess we all know who's getting this year's Best Son award. Oh, so we're in a big city. Look at me, all alone in a big city. Honestly, I still can't get over how huge this thing is. I guess if you climb every building in your town, you're easily impressed by skyscrapers. I think my mom took me here once, a long time ago. I remember looking at these buildings and thinking that they have no end. No matter how long you climb the stairs, you'll never be able to reach the top. Flawless child logic. You'll probably see it in one of those sophisticated low-budget flicks. A journey without a destination, just continuing on and on to the end of time. Wait, am I getting philosophical again? This is what talking to my mother does to me. At least if there's nothing to look up to, you'll never be disappointed, right? But let's hope there is a destination this time, or else I'm spending the night under a bridge. The boarding house must be around here somewhere, at least if I can trust those vague instructions the landlord gave me. I couldn't hear his voice that well either. No matter where I stood, there was this strange static. With my luck, I've found the only real haunted house in Japan. Not that I've actually found it. Am I even close? I guess there's no point in getting myself more lost, if that's even possible. I'll just find a nice stranger and ask them for directions. I see a French-kissing couple, a bearded man glaring at them, and 3 young people talking near the park. Yeah, I'm gonna go with these 3. I walk a bit closer. There are 2 girls, but I pay no attention to them. My eyes are instantly glued to the tall guy in the middle. Hey, not like anyone can blame me. Just look at him. This is the kind of guy that makes you see flowers bloom spontaneously in the background. Shiju manga style. There it is. That's adorable. See? My childhood friend, that childhood friend you've always had a crush on but are too embarrassed to confess to, and then he marries, has children, you end up writing angry letters to women's magazines. His eyes are warm enough to burn you. His smile can make you blind, and he kills with kindness. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the greatest catch of the modern age, currently chatting up by 2 yet unidentified females. Graphics in this are beautiful. The guy's attention is focused on the girl on the left. At first I thought he's being persecuted by fans, but it looks as if he's having a good time. Maybe I shouldn't disturb them? Oh wow, she looks pretty too. The girl's smile broadens and nods her head at something he said. She's maintaining eye contact, no fidgeting or blushing. Either she's just a friend or she's very confident. She is tall and kind of cute, with light brown hair and big sparkling eyes. The cat in her headband is disturbing, extremely so. Its eyes seem to follow you wherever you go. The more I look at it, the creepier it gets. Oh no, I don't usually hallucinate, not on Mondays anyway. The second girl. Uh-oh, princess alert. This chick looks like she's living in one of those country-sized mansions with 100 Tanaki butlers. I bet her dog is called Elizabeth, too. I honestly cannot decide whether she is drop-dead gorgeous or just pretty underneath all this makeup. Her hair is styled in perfection, not a stray strand in sight. Her clothes look tailored, made, and very expensive. Oh, she's got big eyes. Great. She's looking this way. How do you greet foreigners again? Okay, English. Let's stick to English. Now, what do I remember? No, this is not the time for mine to go blank. Ugh. The guy and the cat girl have noticed me as well. Now they're all looking at me, staring at them like an idiot. Just say something. I lock eyes with the blonde girl, stealing myself and hoping to do my best. How do you do, miss? It's a lovely day inside, no? Seems that my best is not that good these days. The princess's eyes widen in surprise. She opens her mouth. Her brows are knit together, and I think I see a drop of sweat on her pretty forehead. This is Anna speaking. How may I help you? Silence envelopes us like a warm, fuzzy blanket. Ha ha ha. Both the guy and the glasses girl are shaking with laughter. The princess blushes deeply and glares at me. I'm sorry, Anna. You see, she doesn't like English very much. She's Japanese, you know, born and raised here. And her appearance, I guess you can call it the power of cosplay. I see. Who is she cosplaying as? Now, mainly herself, but you should see her closet. I swear, it looks like every major anime character dropped their clothes in there. And hair. Whoops, that reminds me, we have to go. Sorry, we'll explain later. Kainea? Bye. Glasses girl takes, or rather grabs, the princess's hand, and they leave quickly. Now, a second glance in my direction. Well, this seems interesting. I've got a family that's quite far away by the sounds of it. I'm breaking into the world as an adult, which I didn't do very long ago. And I did it by leaving everyone behind to a country that I don't speak languages well in. Hopefully I'll be able to find my house and make some friends. I'm guessing I'm going to make these guys as my friends next. We're playing Sagebrush. This is again like a demo. Well, it is a demo. While finishing off a lackluster sandwich I've decided to eat way too late, I considered my options. Drop out once this semester ends, or, well, drop out? Shit, I guess I really don't have any other options, do I? I've never had the pleasure of making a decision where I didn't have a choice in the matter. There is only one option I can choose, the one I don't want. What a joke. What a joke? Yeah, what a joke. Yeah, I'm bitter. The time I've spent here has been nothing short of a wild ride, but it all felt worth it. And now, well, what do I do now? What will I do? I ask myself this, but I already know what I'll have to do. I'll have to go home, and I can't come back to college anymore. It's as simple as that. The campus here doesn't seem too impressive, but once you discover the eastern end of the building, the views are pretty nice. There's not a single other building in sight, and aside from a standard football field, there is mountains lightly dusted with sagebrush. The fields are golden and wide. The sight's really spectacular, I guess. I watch a tractor, as tiny as an ant, bulldoze its way through the distant fields. The humming it makes is oddly calming. It's the only thing preventing my anxiety to blow to epic proportions. I wonder how much he makes. To be honest, manual labor like that is probably sufficient enough for me. I could imagine myself as a landscaping man for a brief moment, high-tailing it to the mountains and coming home to a nearly empty cabin. The daydream becomes so oddly specific that I've conjured myself in a tacky Pendleton coat while warming my hands up to one of those portable camping heaters in my dark, drab cabin. Wait, a camping heater indoors? I mentally combust my dream cabin into flames. It's just common sense that you can't use one of these things indoors. Back to the drawing board. I frown lightly and decide that manual labor isn't as great as they all chalk it up to be. I am pretty much back to square one, so I laze limply back on the bench and sigh. My scholarship only lasted a year. My financial aid will end with the next year when the next year rolls around. I can't depend on Uncle for money. I still don't have a job. I have no idea what I'm going to pay off the rest of the money I owe. My life's completely going down the drain, and yet the only thing I can think about is... let's do Pendleton coats. The daydream really had me thinking, do I even have a Pendleton coat anymore? The one with the genuine wool lining? Did I misplace it back at home? I doubt my uncle threw it out. He's barely tossed out old underwear in decades. He doesn't give things away either. He's stingy, even though he doesn't want to admit it. When was the last time I saw it? I'm unable to conjure any leads as to where that coat went, but I'm absolutely sure it existed. But my lack of memory starts to toy with my mind. Did it really exist? I mean, it had to, right? I wore it for my 7th grade photo, right? Damn it, this is really bothering me. As if the world couldn't care less about my trailing thoughts, I'm interrupted by footsteps rapidly approaching me. While holding onto my empty sandwich wrapper for dear life, I must look strange to whoever is approaching me, but with one look I'm instantly feeling relieved. It's just Junior, my best friend. He staggers over slowly and gets onto the beach carefully, like an old man. Finished with football practice? Yeah. I could tell. You're getting on the bench like you've got a hernia. He doesn't reply. He just continues to adjust his position, sliding down the bench. I crumble my sandwich wrapper into a ball, but stall before attempting to toss it into the garbage can. There's something off about Junior. I'm not confident in my basketball skills, never was and never will be, so I get up from the bench and toss my garbage away. As soon as I return, Junior turns to me with a quick glance. He averts his eyes when he speaks up. I didn't go to practice today. He says it like it's forbidden, which puzzles me. He's skipped out and practiced a couple of times before, and would always laugh it off having to do the odd punishment. He never exactly elaborated on what those were now that I think about it, but they couldn't have been bad enough to joke about having to do them. Huh, really? Why? Junior lets out a dragged, audible sigh as he rubs his temples. Something's clearly wrong. It's Arlene? Is she okay? Oh yeah, she's fine. Junior immediately scuffs, which leaves me feeling a mix of confused yet relieved. When you put some bad news together with a person you know, you can't help but jump to conclusions. I have my differences with her, but she's still my friend too, I guess. Arlene is Junior's, I'm pronouncing their names all wrong, I feel like, girlfriend. They've been dating since our sophomore year of high school. Back at home, they were something of a scandalous pairing. Adeline was the prim and proper daughter of a police officer, and Junior was, well, Junior. Nobody living in a trailer. But here at college, they blend in with the crowd. They're just a typical run-of-the-mill couple. Their relationship should prosper over here with no rumors or gossip. She broke up with me. Junior sinks back into the bench, crossing his arms and looking so lifeless. Only right now do I realize how much of a mess he looks. His clothes are wrinkled, his hair isn't brushed, plus there's stubble starting to grow on his face. Right before my birthday, too. I guess you never think about it, you know, when you have to cut someone off, and there's 2 most important days you get to avoid. Their birthday and Christmas. Junior raises 2 fingers to illustrate those 2 most important days, but then he pauses to raise another finger. Oh, and Valentine's Day, which is past. What are the odds, right? I want to agree with him, but to be completely honest, the entire thing didn't make any sense at all. I just try to look at him instead. As if Junior couldn't sink any further into the bench, he did somehow. I'm stuck with my jaw open, thoughts racing, and not exactly knowing what to say. And don't ask me why she did. I didn't really want to talk about it. So yeah, it's over. Really over. I'm sorry. I really, really try to sound like I am. I'm not a good guy. I'm an asshole. I'm also not so completely transparent that I could comfort somebody on their breakup when I was secretly wishing for the downfall before it began. At least that's what I thought. I guess not, because it's hurt your friend. But yeah, I feel really disheartened for both of them. They were together for so long. They were so naturally together. And now they're not. I don't know, it just feels wrong. And I really wanted to end all this time. Thankfully, Junior immediately gets up to stretch. You don't have to apologize, you didn't do anything. I beg to differ. I just wanted to tell you, in case you were looking for me and got worried or something. Huh? Well, because I'm probably going to lock myself in my room for a couple of days, you feel? Like watch some Mari or Judge Judy and stuff? Okay. You can really tell there's something wrong if Junior decides to watch TV. Our university only provides local channels, but those who can't live without watching anything remotely interested will buy it direct. Junior and I made the mistake of hauling a TV over here and didn't realize we actually had to pay for cable. To our surprise, we found out a lot of people don't care too much about cable as much as they do the internet. Only those extremely bored, sad, or depressed people who want to watch anything here on campus. And Junior is definitely showing symptoms of that. Seeing him like this is worrying. He gives me a quick glance and a short wave and turns around before his plans to walk away. I jump up from the bench and run to him, but I'm at a loss of what to say that can get his attention. He just gives me a stare. I wonder if I wanted him to break up with his girlfriend so I could date him. That'd be pretty interesting. He's a football player. Football players are neat. I don't really know if football players are neat, I'm just assuming so. I like the look of this game. Sounds pretty interesting. Am I going to leave him too right after his girlfriend left him? Because that's gonna suck. Next. We're playing Fox in the Hollyhocks. Yeah, probably said that right. The first time I met Renard was at the farmer's market. My eyes were meant to pass over him like they did every other face in the crowd. Except that they didn't. For some reason, I got the sense that I'd met him before, but I didn't know where or how. I kept staring at him, racking my brain. And before I knew it, he was staring back at me. I stand still as he walks towards me. Maybe he also has the feeling that we've met. He stops walking when he's directly in front of me, never breaking eye contact. I open my mouth to ask him if we've met before, but he quickly interrupts me. Excuse me, do you know how to get to the Cardinal Center from here? Oh, sure, you just go down that way to Garden Street, and then you make a left, and it's all the way down next to the archery mural. You can't miss it. Okay, thanks. Before you go, do you have a second? No, sorry, I'm in a rush. He quickly disappears into the crowd before I can say anything more, leaving me staring in the direction he'd gone. I'm still not sure whether or not I've met him somewhere before, but I guess it doesn't matter either way. I try to put him out of my mind as I head home. There's hardly a chance I'll ever see him again. Atia Rosata is so big that sometimes you forget there's an outside world beyond the buildings and streets. Even so, the gears in my head keep turning, searching through my memory banks, looking for his face in a crowded room or a subway car. There's a glimmer of a bus in my mind, but in the end I can't recall. The second time I met Renard was a few weeks later, at the farmer's market. I like these little almost like comic book-esque overlays that are happening. They look pretty cool. It's him again. Now's my chance to ask him if we've met before. I slide my hand back away from his and put on a friendly smile. Sorry about that. You can take those if you want. Are you sure? Yeah, don't worry about it. Okay, but tomatoes won't be in season anymore soon, you know? I nod and let him choose tomatoes in peace. His attitude seems a bit different from when he was asking me for directions. Maybe he doesn't recognize me from then. It certainly wouldn't be unusual for him to forget someone's face for something like that, especially if you're in a rush. I sigh at my cursed memory and decide to leave him alone, wandering past tables full of eggplants, bananas, and peaches to booths selling oranges. Maybe I'll pick up a couple. Do you like oranges? I look up to see him standing next to me again. Yeah, I like them. Maybe I'll get some too. I watch him as he starts inspecting oranges, feeling slightly awkward at the fact that I still recognize him and he's probably forgotten all about me already. Thanks again for giving me directions, Huh? Oh, no problem. I guess you found your way. Yeah. We examine oranges together in silence. I idly wonder if he's lost again and needs directions to a different part of the city. So, do you shop here often? Come again? I feel like I've seen you around a lot is all. Well, I usually go this way on my way home from work. Maybe you've seen me passing through? Sometimes I'll pick up a few things before going home. I see. I work really close by, so I come here pretty often, too. Really? Where do you work? Paradise Books, between the Solar Bank and Louis' Coffee. That is close. What about you? I work at an accounting firm downtown. How do you like that? Well, it's a job. He gives me an apologetic smile and a nervous laugh, and we drop the subject. We finish up choosing our oranges and pay the vendor. I'm Renard, by the way. Hunter. We shake hands, and I'm starting to get the feeling that I've definitely not met him before. I actually have a few more things to pick up here. Okay, mind if I tag along? No, I don't mind. We walk together to a stand selling cabbages. My mom used to grow cabbages in our yard when I was small. Really? You have a yard around here? No, I'm originally from Kings River. That's where I grew up. I'm from Eden, myself. So you came to the city to work. Yeah, there's not a lot going on in Eden. What about you? Bernard pays for his cabbage, and we make our way through the stand to the next item on his list. It sounds cheesy, but I came here to change myself. Well, you came to the right place. The city changes people whether they like it or not. Did it change you too? Yeah, it did. We stopped by a table full of cherries. Do you like cherries? I'll buy you some. You don't have to do that. It's thanks for keeping me company while I was shopping. Alright, thanks for the cherries. Well, if you insist. I love fresh picked cherries. They used to be a treat in my household. Bernard seems pleased. He buys 2 clamshells of cherries and has them bagged separately. He hands one back to me. Here you are. This is my thanks. Thanks for the cherries. You're welcome. I'm just glad I got to talk to you. Maybe we'll see each other around again? Yeah, probably. It was nice meeting you, Hunter. Likewise. See you around then. We wave goodbye to each other before going our separate ways. I can't shake the feeling that we've met somewhere else before, but when I speak to him, he doesn't feel familiar at all. I wonder when we'll meet again. The cherries Bernard picked out are firm but sweet. Does he usually do this kind of thing for strangers? I pluck another glistening cherry from my pile and pull the fruit from the stem with my teeth. 3 months later. It's a sleepy evening on the subway for all of Altia Rosata's nightlife. None of it goes this far out from downtown, and this line is practically deserted by 9 o'clock. It's almost 10 p.m. now, and the train rattles dutifully along. The homeless man across the aisle is whispering to himself. He's always here if you take the train at the right time. He always gets off at Castle Hill too, right before my stop. I look at the advertisements affixed above the windows without reading them as the train pauses at a station. The doors open and we sit waiting for nobody. But just as the doors are closing, someone rushes in. It's him. Of course it's him, really. I watch him from where I'm sitting. He looks tired. Haha. Rough night? We're meant to be. We keep bumping in together. This game looks pretty good. It seems a bit, like the characters aren't completed yet, but it is a demo, and for what it has, it's got really good ideas. I really like the overlay, the comic, like, overlay bits. They look pretty cool. Next.